So guys, this is it. This is what we have. You can see all the bounds. Okay, you can see what we have here. So this is our 720 degree and it's neat. So to make your 720 degree flare, you're going to be needing your waist measurement and your flare length. So you can get your flare length by deducting your half cut or your half length, that is shoulder to waist, from the blouse length. Whatever you get, you add your necessary allowances. Your waist measurement, you're going to be needing the waist measurement plus the sewing allowance. Okay, if you need pleating, you add more. So I added 5 inches to mine. So now, since my waist measurement is 45 plus 5, which is 50, how to get your 720 degree? You know that a full circle, a full flare is 360 degree. So you cut 2 360 degree flare, which will make it 720, because 360 plus 360 is 720. So how do you go about it? This is your waist plus all the allowances and everything. Divide it into 2. So since mine is 50, include seam allowance included, so I'll divide into 2, which will give me 25. So this 25 is what I will use to calculate my radius. Okay, and you know that for calculation of a 360 degree flare is this is my waist, 25 divided by 6.28. okay, so whatever you get, you use that to calculate. So whatever you get, you use that to cut your circle. Okay, so my 25 divided by 6.28 will give me 3.98. I'll approximate that to 4 inches. Okay, so this is the radius. This is the radius I will be using for my circle. That means I'll be cutting 2 full flare using this radius, which will give me my 720 degree flare. Okay, how do you know the amount of fabric to put on fold? You add up these 4 inches to your flare length, seam allowance included. So remember, my flare length plus seam allowance is included is 10, plus this my figure I got after calculation, which is 4. So 10 plus 4 will give me 14. So the amount of fabric to put on fold is 14. I hope we get the calculation. So go over it over and over again and you will get it. So let's cut. So I'll be folding over 14 inches. My 14 inches, we got it from the calculation. So guys, this is the first fold. This is 14 inches. Okay, 14 and a half on fold. Okay, I left that half just to see what to cut out. Okay, so you can do exact 14 inches. So this is the first fold. I will do the second folding now. From here, I'll measure out my 14 and a half inches. Then I'll fold over like this. So whatever you do for this flare, you're still going to do it for the other flare. That means you're cutting 2 flare. Okay, so guys, I've gone ahead to cut out the needed fabric so that it can be easier to handle. Okay, so remember what we have is 14 inches. So remember, this is folded into 4 and these 2 sides are closed. This place is closed, these 2 sides is open. So you start from this pointed edge that has 2 closed sides. Okay, so I'll mark my 14 all round. So take your time and mark. After marking the 14, I'm going to mark out my 4 inches, which is my radius for the waist. Okay, now you cut out. So this is it. I'll go ahead now to transfer it to my lining also, and cut another one because we need two. This is just 1 360, so I'll cut another one, making it two to have 720, and I'll cut my lining too on it. Okay, you'll be needing an interfacing, paper stay, gum stay, or any of your choice, any one you want. You'll be needing that. So I'll cut everything out now and I'll get back to us. So guys, I'm done duplicating my flares. This is the two 360-degree flares, and this is my two lining. Okay, and this is two paper stay. Okay, so I'm going to be using paper stay on the lining. Then if you want more structure, you can add hairstay on the main fabric. Okay, so but since I'm going to be using paper stay on the lining, and I'll still add crinoline, because crinoline is the secret of the bouncy effect. Okay, the bouncy effect lies in the crinoline. So since I'm going to be adding crinoline and I already have paper stay here, there is no need to add hairstay here because the fabric is thick. Okay, so let me go now to iron this and I'll get back to us. So guys, I'm done putting interfacing on the lining alone. Okay, so I'll go ahead now to open up the flare one part so that we can join the two of them together. So you choose one edge and open up, just cut it open. Do the same for this side. So you go to your sewing machine now and join the two of them together. So these two now, you're still going to cut it open. So I'll go over to the sewing machine now to join these two linings together. Okay, just pick one edge and join with one edge of this, like this. Just pick one edge like this and join. Do the same for this one. Then we will go over to hemming. So you use the lining to turn the main fabric, placing your crinoline on it. Make sure you place your crinoline on the lining part, okay, so that you can turn over when you want to iron. All right, so we'll go back to the sewing machine now to do that. So now we are done joining the two of them. We'll go over to using the lining to hem the main fabric and putting our crinoline for the bouncy effect. Okay, so you place right side facing each other. Like I said, make sure that your crinoline is on the lining. Okay, so I'll be using 1 inch crinoline. Please note how I'm doing this. See, my crinoline, I'm not starting it at the edge like this. Remember, I have 1/2 inch sewing allowance, so I'm going to put it near my 1/2 inch where I'm going to stitch on my 1/2 inch. Hope we get. So I'm not putting it close to the edge like this. I'm shifting it to that 1/2 inch, and I'll be sewing at the tip of the crinoline. Okay, so it will not be hard when you want to turn. Do this and you will see the difference in the ones you've been making. Okay, so we learn every day, we learn on the job. So I'll follow my 1/2 inch round, sewing on the tip of the crinoline. Make sure you're arranging your flare very well. You can pin down. don't drag the crinoline, please. Don't drag it, just curve it in as you are curving, as your flare is curved. Just follow the curve of the flare and take your time, no need to rush. So after sewing it round, okay, you will notch or trim, whichever one. The sewing allowance, you should notch or you trim it close to the edge, okay. Then you can top stitch. Your top stitching, if you want to top stitch on the lining part like this. Top stitch on the lining part, putting your sewing allowance. This is your sewing allowance. That means you must have trimmed or notch, okay, whichever one. Then you put your sewing allowance inside, on the sewing allowance side, inside, okay, like this, and you top stitch. But I'm going to be using hemming gum while ironing to make mine smoother, okay. So even without ironing, without top stitching, without what's it called, notching, you can see how flat this place is relaxing. Can you see how flat it is? That's the magic of not sewing your crinoline with your sewing allowance. Just sew it on top of the that place that your thread is going to pass. Just keep the tip there and sew it. As you can see, this is my sewing allowance, and this is where my thread passed, and that is where my crinoline started, okay. This will change your peplum game, okay. Instead of having that big bulge here, you can see even without top stitching, you can see how flat it is relaxing. See, you can see how flat it's relaxing. Try this and let me know in the comment section how it worked out for you, okay. So you cover these two edges, the two sides, you sew them, cover it up, okay, the two of them. So I'll do that now, but I'll first of all trim. So when you want to close the two sides, you don't start just sewing straight. Raise your fabric up a bit, okay. Raise it up a bit like this, just small, pinch it up small. What does this do? This will help to push the lining side inside, okay. Just raise it up a bit. You will see the effect when you finish sewing. Whatever you're learning here, just try it first. Don't complain, don't analyze it on your head or in your head. Just do it like that and you will see the results. What I'm talking about. Yeah, you see that small push you gave it, the small push you gave it now made it to be inside, like it's pushed the lining inside. You can see the main fabric is inside a bit. It's because of that small little push you gave it before sewing, okay. So this is how to get a flat and neat. You can see how it is even without top stitching. You can see it's already inside, okay. So you repeat for the other side. When you open it up, we'll now go and give it a good press, you see. So go and give it a good press now. So guys, after ironing, this is what we have, very neat. I didn't even use the hemming gum again because it was already laying very flat. That's because of how we inserted our crinoline and how we finished this part. So everything was lying flat and smooth, okay. So what I want to do now is to stitch this upper part together before I trim. So I want to stitch this with the lining so that I can trim and it will be ready to be attached to your half cut or attach your belt. In this case I'm going to be using belt because I want it to be detachable. so I can use it with anything. I can use it with my bodycon, maybe black bodycon. I can use it with a jumpsuit. Okay, for those of us that have tummy, you can use a detachable flare on your jumpsuit so that it can look appealing. So you can use it on anything. Okay, you can use it on a gown, you can use it on a jumpsuit, you can even use it on a trouser you tucked in inside. No, the use is endless. Shade. So I'm going to be attaching a belt, a band to it, so that I can be tying it. You can put zipper, just you can do whatever you want with it. Okay, so I'll go ahead now to run a straight stitch all across it. Okay, then trim off. Then I'm going to be cutting a band for making it detachable. Okay, so let me do this one now. So guys, remember I added some allowance for pleats. I added 5 inches to my waist for pleating. Okay, so this is the major place I wanted to pleat, the center front. That is where the joining is. Okay, so I want to put a pleat there so it won't be visible. So you can just fold in your allowance, the pleat allowance you gave, and you can pleat other places if you want. Okay, you can pleat other places, or you just fold in the allowance you gave. That's all. So that's what I'm doing. After, I will hold it down with a stitch, then attach my band. So for the band, I'm going to be cutting a 2 inches band on fold. Okay, so I'll cut 2 inches on fold. So by the time I attach it with 1/2 inch, it will remain 1.5 inches, or you can do 1.5, and when you attach it, it will remain 1 inch. It totally depends on you, on what you want to achieve. Okay, so there is no big deal about that one. So let me stitch this down. So guys, here is my band, my 2 inches wide band on fold, and I've gone ahead to close the 2 edges, so to finish it up. So what you need to do, put the 2 edges together. Yeah, and I ironed flat. So put the 2 edges together and locate the middle point. That is if you want to do detachable peplum. Okay, so if not, your peplum is as good to be attached to your half length, but since we are doing detachable peplum, okay, so you locate the middle point and notch. So this middle point is going to the middle point of the peplum. So my middle point is the place I pleated already, so I don't need to start locating it. I already know my middle point. So here is my middle point. Here is my middle point. So I'll choose the side that will be the right side. So right side facing each other like this. Okay, you pin it down, then you sew from one end, from this middle part to the end, then like this. From this middle part you sew to the end. Okay, so this the length of this, you can cut as long as you wish. Okay, so this is 60 inches long, so that I can have the remaining to tie at the back. So guys, this is it. This is what we have. You can see all the bounce. Okay, you can see what we have here. So this is our 720 degree, and it's neat. Okay, so if you want more structure, you can add your paper stay on your lining and on your main fabric, or you can use your crinoline net, you know, the one that comes in 60 as a fabric. That will give you a very strong standing. But come on, 720 degree is a full flare, very full, very it's bouncy, it stands, and using all those hard it will make it to fly up, shey get. So this is minimal. I actually am not a fan of 720. I like my flare minimal, okay, like 360. But for small sizes, from size like a waist 32, waist 30, waist 29, no, they need full stuffs, okay. But me, as a plus size, I don't think I need this full, but it's cool. I love it. I'm going to put it on my body now and you will see what it looks like. This is my belt. It's not actually long enough, but I'm going to do with what I have. And yes, I weaved, look at this place, I top stitched on it, then I weaved this inner side for knit finishing, okay. So if you have a better way of finishing it, please do. So I'm going to put it on my body now. So guys, this is it on me. You can see it's very full, and like I said, I'm not a fan of full stuffs because I'm already big. So this is it. You can see how it's all bouncy and full. Okay, so if I dress up now, maybe put on a black bodycon gown or probably a jean and a top that is body fitted, maybe a black color or any other plain color that matches this, I'll just put this around my waist and it will give it another vibe, okay. But you can also use this in case you don't want it detachable. Just go ahead to attach it to your blouse, your half cut, okay. So let me know what you think. Will you try this? Let me know what you think in the comment section. Are you a fan of team 720 or team 360? Because I'm actually a fan of team 360, okay. So guys, see you in the comment section. Bye.